Now that you've decided that you really want an aquarium for your home and you want discus fish, what do you really need to know to successfully keep this type of fish? Are they really only for seasoned aquarium masters? Well, the answer is yes. They were. After they were discovered in the Amazon in the early 1800s, they were so difficult to raise and breed that it wasn't until 1935 that the first successful spawning of discus apparently occurred in the US by Gustav Armbruster. Today it's a different story. Your aquarium supplier has lots of discus fish displays to prove that it's possible to keep the discus. But you need to do due diligence with regards to what the discus needs at home to survive and thrive. So where do you start? Well, because there is a lot of information, I would start by creating a notebook binder for a journal with different questions and considerations for the discus. Questions like, how big a tank should it be? Do I buy glass or acrylic? How much will it weigh? If I buy a tank online, what would I look out for? What kind of substrate? And on and on. So there are many questions, so start a journal. I'm going to answer the first two in this starter video, and I'll try to make more videos as time permits. But I do have most of the answers on the site, and at the end of the video there will be a link to it which you can find, and many of the questions have been answered there. But let's start with the tank itself. The basic rule of thumb for discus fish is about 10 gallons for every fish that you put in your tank. A 55-gallon tank will accommodate 4 adult discus fish, and if you have 4, they have lots of room, and they love to move and school together, so get the largest tank possible. They can grow to 6 inches, and they can be as tall as they are wide, so lots of room is needed for them. And keep in mind, you're going to add substrate and accessories and plants, so that's going to take up a little bit of room too. So the next question is, should I buy a glass or an acrylic tank, and what's the difference? Well, that's pretty much a matter of choice, depending on the style. Acrylic is stronger, it resists breaks and leakage. It's also easier to drill for bulkheads and things that you might want to add to the tank at a later date. It has better thermal insulation, and it is clearer and lighter, easier to move, and it has a greater variety of shapes. However, glass tanks are less expensive and less prone to scratching, because that's one of the drawbacks for acrylics. They're easily scratched, and when you're cleaning them you have to be careful. Glass tanks, on the other hand, can be difficult to drill and can shatter. You don't want to have a good tank shattered after you've got it all set up. But the shattering is something that parents might want to consider also, because you don't want a shattered tank all over your living room floor. So, pretty much a matter of choice. So, depending on your situation, of course. So, if I buy a tank online, what would I look out for? Well, the main thing that I found in my research, that not all online tanks are advertised with the US units of measure. And just be aware that there's different sizes for the measurements of gallons, some of which I've listed here. And some of the advertised tanks are advertised as 55 gallons, and actually a lot less. So on my site I've got a calculator that you can use to get the real volume of them. And so another important fact is to be aware of the fact that if you buy a kit online, some of the spare parts are often not available for these kits. Forums are full of unhappy buyers that have found out that a broken hood or some other accessory is not available, and it's difficult to replace them. So just be aware of that. I would always recommend that you buy locally from a dealer, even though the prices may be a little higher. Always ask about replacement parts for any aquarium kit that you buy through them as well. Well, that's a kind of a wrap for this introduction, and thank you for watching. Come back often to see more videos posted. I'll continue to add to this channel. to try and answer all of the questions. So stay tuned and have a good day.